We'd do anything for the people we love.
Thanks, Dad.
That's why I chose over 50 life insurance from Royal London.
The money left behind can be used as a gift.
Or to help pay for a funeral.
Thanks, Mum. We simply make affordable monthly payments.
At Royal London, anyone aged 50 to 80 is guaranteed acceptance with no medical questions. Buy over 50 life insurance today, and if you pay £7 a month or more, you'll get a £115 welcome gift. Offer ends the 31st of March.
Royal London.
Afternoon, girls. How are you all?
What fabulous weather we're having.
I know.
Oh, it's lovely.
The arms are out. My decolletage is out.
Yes. I felt so summery, in the holiday mood. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I don't think I ever put my decolletage away, actually, but I'm glad yours is out, Debbie. That's good news.
Yes. But listen, I had something so awful happen to me yesterday, and I have to share it with you because I know how you appreciate it. Well, I took the dogs out and I bought a new lead for the big ones. You know those sort of dual leads with a like that. Anyway, Beanie does not like the Chihuahua, does not like to sit in the front. She likes to sit in the back with all the big dogs. And I got this new lead and I opened the boot and they came out the boot and she was actually stuck inside the new lead with her front paws and the screaming because they pulled her out the car. She was screaming. I thought she'd broken both of her legs, her front paws. I couldn't get the lead off them. And and they were running. I mean, and she was being dragged along with them. It was
terrifying.
It was the most terrifying moment I've ever had because she was going, whoa, and I thought, oh my God.
Is she okay?
So I eventually managed to untie her. My friend was with me, who took my dogs, and literally, I thought she was going to have a heart attack. Well, I nearly had a heart attack.
Oh my goodness.
I was just holding her and holding her and holding her. And I managed to calm her down and myself down. And I drove to the vet with her in my arms like that. And I go, I thought, oh my God, she's broken her legs, her front paws. And we got to the vet and we sat outside and I was kissing her and I was gently manipulating her legs and they seemed all right. She wasn't screaming. And they took her into the vet and the vet's nurse came out and she took her in and she took her back and she said, she hasn't broken anything. She's okay. And I went,
thank God.
She said, but she's in. But I mean, how she didn't is a miracle.
Yes.
But the weirdest thing happened, and I know that you will all be very shocked at this because this is the most shocking thing. She came out and she said that won't be any charge.
Wow.
Bless her.
I know.
How
she
amazing.
Said, don't worry. She said she was so worried. And she said, I took her in and I've just given her a quick examination. And she said, don't worry about it.
Oh my goodness.
Wonderful.
Isn't that
And
lovely?
she said, we know
lovely.
how much the vets charge, the overcharging, the insurance stuff. And to get that to come back was so lovely.
That's a wonderful vet.
On a Sunday too.
On a Sunday. And she's fine. I gave her some painkiller, which they gave me to give her, and some rescue remedy. And she's fine.
Yeah. Oh,
I do see sometimes in the parks, dog walkers with the long leads, they just let them go on the ground.
Yes.
And they're just like long leads trailing around behind them. That always worries me in case one of the dogs gets caught up in it. It always worries me.
I normally take the lead off. I never normally, but it was the new lead. For some reason, I just had it and I didn't realise for a second that Beanie would be literally stuck in the middle of it.
Oh no, and that's absolutely, that's just a bizarre accident. But it's the other things that people have, those long leads with dogs, just walking around with leads following.
Yeah.
I always am anxious about other dogs or running or whether anybody could get caught up.
Anyway, girls, I had to share that with you today because it was horrible. And after she's had her cat, I nearly had a nervous breakdown. So
yes,
thank you,
God.
God.
That's good news, darling.
That is good news.
So be careful if you've got more than one dog and you have those leads in the car.
Yes,
take them off. That's really
it's good to know that.
Now, while we're on the subject of animals, the girls don't realise this, viewers, but we have got, you won't believe this, David Attenborough's come to see us. David, you're here.
Here in the Caribbean, at its most highest point, you find me amongst the glorious birds of paradise, known as Debius, Dius, Harriatus, and Sherrie. Yes, please, double if you don't mind. Nicknamed the WonderBirds, whose glorious plumage is really remarkably still on show, and Debbie Arnold's really is on show today. She might need some mosquito netting, if you ask me frankly, but there we are.
Welcome.
Brilliant.
Hello, dears.
We've missed you, my darling.
Like you. Likewise. Thank you for having me back on.
People don't know how long we've known each other, but we actually met in what year? 1993?
No, it was 94.
When you were dressed as what?
A Jiminy cricket, a 6'4" cricket.
Unchanged, darling.
Why?
Unchanged.
Happy days. It's such a long time ago, and yet it just goes by in the blink of an eye, doesn't it? It's
absolutely.
amazing.
Lewis was doing pantomime with David, my ex-husband, and David came home and said, I've never, ever, ever heard anyone do funny voices like him. And I remember meeting him, and just that was it, wasn't it? You just clicked with us, and that was it.
True. And I lived with you for 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, you looked after me.
Yeah,
it was amazing. It was incredible what you as a family did to help me get a footing in London. It was brilliant, absolutely amazing, unforgettable.
We loved you. We loved you.
Oh, I love you too.
But a lot of people thought at the time that you were my toy boy. You know that.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes,
Toy boy with absolutely not a bean to his name. I mean, that's not going to work, is it? You know.
Can you get the drinks? I mean, I'm just 24.
No money. But I lived well. I remember some great experiences. Darling. Remember, we went to see David directing Chris Barry one night, and George Michael turned up. Do you remember that night? It's amazing. I'm standing.
So random.
I know, it was bizarre. And we were all standing, and then and he must have been the security guard. I don't know where he was. It was at the Fairfield Halls or somewhere like that. And he came in, this man, he must have been about 90, and he said, don't worry, George, I'll look after you. And he comes in and he looks sensational, you know, with his tan and the suit and the glasses. And we all dropped our drinks at the bar. Oh my God, that's George Mark. And the old boy was going, hey, steady on. I'll get there with you in a moment. And this lovely old man walking George Michael just across the sort of foyer of this wonderful theatre was one of the loveliest sights. He's trying to keep up with this superstar.
We did have some adventures, but the best thing ever to happen to Lewis was when he decided to go home, and Talia gave him the word, didn't she?
Oh, that's right. Oh, that was spooky. Yeah, that was really weird.
What does that mean?
Yeah. Well, what happened was I had no money, Harriet, and I decided I'd overstayed my welcome, and I thought I'm going to go home. So I went out the back, and I just sort of made my mind up, and I was having a cigarette out in the back garden, and I just thought, right, I'm going home. And I made my mind up. Walked in. Now, Talia, who'd be about 2.5, was on her high chair, and to her right was Kira, who'd be about 7, Debbie, right? And as I was walking towards them and walking past them, Kira went, Lewis will be, and as I walked past the two of them, Talia went, patient. And I was, you know, the hair went up the back. 2.5 years old, patient. I never forgot that. Bizarre. And
that's hysterical.
I went up the stairs and I sat down and I thought, well, what did that? Is it a da-da-da-da-da-da sign or something, you know, one of these moments in life? And so I stayed. I didn't go home. And I think within about 3 weeks, I started working, and I just stayed. And
that's a good word to have, actually. Darling, talking of jobs, tell me about all your jobs at the moment, darling.
Well, it's been, as you know, it's been for everyone a really tough time. And I was really lucky that we had a friend of mine who came up from London to sort of self-isolate at the house. And he happens to be an engineer, Steve Hills, and he helped me get the studio built. So slowly I started getting jobs, and it kind of built up. We actually made our own show from the house called the selfisolateshow.com. You can still watch it. And we made this crazy show with Frame Store. We worked on deep fake. So we were doing lots of impressions, all on a green screen from the house whilst doing voiceover. So I was lucky that I could link up, and we just streamlined it. And so now I've got a kind of fully operational Death Star. It's kind of cool. I can work from home.
And darling, aren't you doing a little television work?
Yeah, well, I filmed, this month's been great actually, because I managed to get a part in Endeavour, which I think is coming out later in the year. And I got I got one whole day, I can't wait, in a movie with I think Mr. Stephen Frears. I'm fingers crossed that all comes off. So wonderful. Yes, I'm excited about it. I don't act an awful lot. I mean, I've got my characters that I do, comedy, but to get a drama is something that's
absolutely.
It feels like dipping your toe in the Premier League. You know what I mean? It's it's scarier.
Lewis, I know you're a brilliant actor, but you're always adding wonderful characters to impersonate, don't you? What are your latest? Can you give us some, ideas of what you've been doing lately?
There's a lot been happening in Scotland, as you know. That Alex Salmond's formed his own political party called Alba.
Yeah.
And a lot of people said to me in England, but they just make radios. I said, well, listen to this. We're on all frequency. And in Gaelic, we're known as Alapa. And I know there's a few English people will be calling me Alapa. But yeah, so he's been in the news. So I've been watching Alec quite a lot. And Debbie and I have met Alec, and he's a good laugh, Alec. And we've met him over the years. And but the interesting thing is, as well, is it brings all the other characters out. Like you get George Galloway. Salam alaikum, peace be upon me. He has made an appearance because Alec has now decided to form his own party. So ready, aim, fire for me with my Forward Unite Kingdom Great Britain # party. Terrible name, nobody can remember. But we will be there in the hustings to take on Alba for their super majority. And Farage, of course, is one I enjoy doing, a bit of Nige. No, let me speak. Now, the thing about it is, I hope everybody in Europe really does embrace the vaccine. I mean, I know Germany had a problem with it. No, let me speak. The thing about it is, the AstraZeneca is not a car, Germany. It's basically a very robust vaccine that you need to take. And, Trump might say, well, wait a second, guys, the vaccine, Pfizer, great drink. But the Mexicans, they've got a terrible vaccine. It's just salsa, and a piñata grows out your elbow. It's not great. So you just got to take whatever the good ones are. We got the Pfizer.
Oh, that's brilliant.
The
Pfizer
scene.
Listen, Jordan, listen, I want to say to you this. If you hadn't done any of this and you go back, what is there a job that you might have done, or would you have done anything else but this?
When I was a kid, I wanted to be in the Red Arrows. And then I soon got out of that one. But mercifully, could you imagine me as a Red Arrow? But my father, he was, not that we had anybody in our family that was in the Royal Air Force. I mean, it was just one of those things. The Red Arrows are just so incredible. I mean, they were amazing, and they are. Yeah. And I've had the privilege of meeting them at RAF Scampton and watching them do their amazing things. In fact, on the day that I met them, it was all, all had to get approved and everything else, but it was the 4th of July. My birthday's the 4th of July. So I'm standing with the great Peter Dixon. He very kindly invited me to RAF Scampton, and we stood as the Red Arrows came into land. And we had arranged for me to contact the Red 10, I think it was, or one of the, the red leader in the aircraft, and impersonate Barack Obama to wish them a happy July 4th. So as they all came into land, they got this thing, the communicator, which was about 1 meter long, big aerial on it, and they go, Q! And I said, on behalf of a grateful world, we want to say God bless the Royal Air Force and the United States Air Force, and we want to wish you a happy July 4th. You're great people. And all we heard back on the communicator was and the guy he was one of the other Red Arrows who was on the ground. He said, I think that means they were laughing. I can't quite tell. And they all came up to us and said, was that you? Yeah, that was amazing.
But does that mean that you wanted to be a pilot?
Oh, I wanted to. As a kid, I was, when I was sort of 7, 8, 9 years old, it was Star Wars. It was all about piloting and spacecraft, and avionics and aviation is something I'm fascinated with anyway. But my father was a policeman, and he said that if you left school, maybe you could join the family tradition, and I would have been a 4th generation police officer. So I remember meeting with a friend of mine, the careers officer at the school, to look at perhaps joining up. And I think my father at the time said if you were about 17, he could have had me as a scene of crime officer, which I think he just turned up with a notepad, taken down. Yes, but I do remember going into Pitt Street in Glasgow and meeting this little man who was in charge of bullets. And he said, welcome, this is the history of bullets. And the very first one was a rock. That's about 5,000 years old. And he took me right up to the sort of supersonic, scary bullets that you get now. And I was kind of for a time interested in joining up the police, but I never pursued it because I think my father realised my three of my brothers were very sort of competent at voices, and my middle brother Callum, God rest him, he was so good at mimicry, and I sort of watched him and started to really adapt because he was getting so much laughter around him that I think my parents, mum and dad, saw that actually this was becoming a thing and started to encourage me more on that route. And maybe you should do some comedy. You sort of follow the advice that you're given by your parents. And I've got cousins in the States and that are actors. My cousin Heather was an actor. Heather Menzies, she was in Sound of Music, Louisa. Yeah. And she was great. And my dad's sister taught drama in Alabama. And she was very encouraging to, that I should act and continue that.
So, Lewis, what's next for you? What's coming next?
Well, today, I just look at each day as it comes in. Today I'm working with some green screen. I've got my psychic character, Ramon. We're going to put up the TP, the transcendental TP. And we're going to be Gabriel Waters, Angel Waters to you all. So Clinton Baptiste is a character, Alex Lowe and I, we sometimes don the costumes for that. I've got Ramon, who's a psychic, so I'm doing a bit of that to green screen today, with a bit of hello, and a bit of Donald Trump. Donald Trump looking at career opportunities. Who knows what I'm going to do next? Insurance, it could be anything. Plumber's yard, you name it, I'll be there. Great job. So that's today, and putting tires on my car.
Doesn't get more exciting than that, darling.
There you go. Down and dirty.
Fabulous. Well, we can't wait for you to come back to. I can't wait to see you.
I can't wait to get done. Oh, likewise. I can't wait. I think it's going to be good because you're getting good weather this week. You're going to have a lot.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, really good. 75
and it's pouring up here, howling gales, usual weather for sunny Glasgow. When the sun comes out in Glasgow, people think it's a UFO. What's that? Run!
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, we love you, darling. Thank
you so much.
See you
Thanks
soon,
for having us on.
Bye. Bye,
darling. That's such a tonic for a Monday. Oh my goodness.
That's hysterical, isn't it?
Every day.
Talented man.
I'm going to have to say that every time we go to Glasgow. Yeah. That is so funny.
I know. Do you know, I met someone recently who said they'd seen a UFO. For real, they said that.
Seriously?
Did I believe it? Not sure.
Who knows? We have another guest, don't we, Sherrie?
Yes, we do. This is one of my bestest friends now because we shared very silly times together on the caravan show. And she is the truly wonderful Sonia.
Yay! Welcome to our nest, Sonia.
How are you, darling?
You know what? I'm really, really well. Holding up, amongst all this chaos in the world. But I'm feeling really good.
And it was great to see the caravanning thing because we haven't seen it for a while, have we? And the memories. I mean, that breakfast it's funnier than I remember, isn't it?
Oh, Sherrie, do you know what? We just had the best time. As you say, so many funny memories, and we were just like a big family in the end, and it was just the best experience ever.
It was. And one of my best lines for you was when you said the breakfast, you said, should we give it to the dog? And I went, no, it'll be sick.
The food wasn't even edible for a dog, but
I know, and yet those boys ate the lot.
We thought,
so funny.
We're never gonna eat this.
I know it was, and we had such a great time. And then you and I did the actual caravan show, didn't we, in Birmingham? And we had the best time. But I mean, I've never laughed so much in my life as in that show. And all of us, you say, don't you, people get on, but we really did get on, didn't we, all of us?
Well, when I first met you, Sherrie, I think we just clicked. We've got the same sense of humour, and the pair of us are completely bonkers. So.
We can second that.
Oh my God. And we just cried the whole time, didn't we? We couldn't. Oh my God. And the best ones for me is when Colin Baker kept smashing the caravan against the wall. I think he smashed it 4 times. And my look was going, Oh, here we go again. I didn't even think of it. Oh
Why
my
did
God,
he do
it
that,
was the
Sherrie?
best.
Did he crash it?
Yes, every time we went down the small road, he just crashed it into the wall. Then he had to turn it and crash it into the next wall. And then he had to go over a bump, and under the caravan we could hear, oh, and I'm going, oh my God. But Tony was brilliant. Tony Blackburn could do it, couldn't he? He could tow that caravan like a good one. Well, I mean, seriously.
There was a rivalry in the end between Tony and Colin, wasn't there? Because Tony was like, I'll do it.
Who's the best?
I mean, Sonia, I'm really surprised that you're still here, having spent so much time with Sherrie. I mean, we've just spent a year together, and we're just about getting over it.
Well, we've all having therapy
Debbie,
to deal with it.
I'll tell you this one thing that happened. So one night we were a bit inebriated, is the word. And so I said to Sonia, oh no, she said, because we were really cold, so Sonia said, I'll make you a hot water bottle. So she gave me the hot water bottle, but the top was loose.
Oh no.
In the morning, and I was completely soaked from head in cold water. Oh, yes, I thought I'd actually had a wee.
I was going to say, did you think you wet the bed?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't really understand how you gave Sherrie a hot water bottle that was full of cold water.
Well, it was.
How did that happen?
Well, I think it might be the alcohol.
Maybe it was alcohol in the hot water bottle. Had you ever thought of
alcohol in the hot water bottle?
This conversation has gone ridiculous, as it always does with Sherrie. Now, Sonia, I want to ask you quite a serious question. I've been a fan of yours forever. You're just the most wonderful entertainer, and I've watched your career metamorphose. Is that the word? Metamorphosize? Is that a word? Yes. You know, you've gone from a little girl to a beautiful woman, and you've had all of that time within the business. How do you think the business has changed from when you first started?
Wow, well, it's completely different now, isn't it? You know, when we were selling records back in the day, obviously it was all vinyl, and people used to go into the shops, and it's completely different now. It's all downloads, and you know, nowadays we don't really know, well, our age, we don't really know what the artist looks like. You'll say, who's number one? And you don't know, and you don't know what they look like. But in our day, there was Top of the Pops, there was all these shows that you could go on, and the kids could relate to the artist. Where it's completely different now.
It's sad, isn't it? It's sad, isn't it? Because the new young artists that come up have to, I mean, they make everything themselves, don't they? Everything's online. They are totally in charge of their own images, and they reach people in a different way. It's really, really interesting.
Well, the thing is, the younger kids now, up and coming, they use the internet in many, many ways, you know, to get themselves out there, to get themselves seen. And as you say, they're very much in control of everything, their image, their music. And, you know, record labels, that's what they want nowadays. They want everybody, they want them to do, in a package, do the whole thing themselves, which is a good thing, because it's very empowering for them too, to have that control.
And how does that work for an artist like you, though, now?
Well, mainly I do mainly live work now, which is brilliant, because before the coronavirus, I was working like literally every single weekend all over the world. I do release songs every now and again, songs that I really enjoy. And I've got a YouTube channel as well. But my main thing now is live work.
Can I ask you about when, as you were on this journey, you did a lot of musical theatre, and what was it like stepping from singing into that character, the musical theatre world, and all the things that go with 8 shows a week, you know, and more sometimes? How did that work out for you?
Well, it seemed like a perfect transaction, really, for me, because obviously I'd done all the pop songs, I'd travelled the world, and it was great to just be in one place for a long time, do you know what I mean? And get back on the stage. I started out on the stage when I was a young kid, before I got my record deal.
Of course, yes.
I did, you know, all my landed exams in drama. So it was waiting to explode, if you like, because I got my record deal when I was 17. So I was caught up in all that. And then it was, as I say, it was a gradual, perfect transaction for me to go onto the stage, really.
And it's nice having that nighttime family, isn't it? That you're the same people every night for you, and again, you have a sort of safety in that. You're not worried about what's coming next because you're supported, knowing you're going to be doing the show.
Well, exactly, and also it's a discipline thing. You know, obviously the 8 shows a week, you've got to keep yourself fit. You've got to be there. You've got to look after your voice, and it's a brilliant groundwork. You know, for anyone who wants to get into the show business, because it really is. It's so disciplined. It's unbelievable. You know, and having the company manager and, as you say, a one big secure family behind you who's got everyone's back. You know.
Was there a favourite musical that you did?
I did quite a few, but obviously the main one that I did I truly loved was Grease at Dominion in the West End.
Yeah. And fabulous.
And did you love that West End life?
I loved it. It was great being a part of, you know, it was a buzz. You felt involved in it all, and I adore London anyway. But you just felt it was a rush, it was a buzz, and it was brilliant. And to have your name up in lights was just unbelievable.
Dreams come true.
The ultimate. The ultimate. Oh, Sonia, I've got to say that you look, like Debbie said, the same to me as when I first saw you. You haven't changed at all. I mean, honestly, you look amazing. And we talked about how the music industry has changed. It has changed a lot, but there are actually some positives, aren't there? Because you're recording from home, I believe. And how does that work for you?
Well, I've been doing lots of different things from home. I've been doing like interviews for different channels. I've been singing on my YouTube channel as well, singing lots of different songs just to keep the fans updated with stuff.
Brilliant.
Do you know what? It's funny how you adapt, isn't it? It's when you have to, you're like, well, if this is the only solution that we have. I mean, look at us now. You know, it's the way it's got to be in these current times, isn't it?
It is actually, Sonia. And also, I think, as you said, you know, you're taking the control back, aren't you? And then, you know, you're actually in charge of your own destiny. And what's happening next for you? Is there anything that you've got in the pipeline you can share with us?
Well, hopefully, all my shows start again. All the contracts have started to come through. Hopefully, the first one's in June down in Nottingham with a big festival there.
Wow!
Lots of different shows, and hopefully, you know, I want to get back into the acting again, maybe into a soap opera or a drama or something along those lines.
Wow, you'd be amazing. I can't wait to see that, actually. And we'll be there in Nottingham.
Yeah, my hometown.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
So many
Sonia,
festivals.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much.
We want to do more caravanning, don't we, Sonia?
Well, that would be great. That would be fab.
Yeah, I'm thinking of WonderBirds caravan. You know, but a big one, like a 20 berth one, really. A great.
I thought,
20 berths?
No, separate. It has to be separate, darling. We can't all be together.
But at the end of the show, we actually moved into static caravans, didn't we, Sonia?
Did you? Wow.
And we were ecstatic because there was like, we kept going, oh my God, there's like bedrooms and we just couldn't believe it.
And not only that, Sherrie, it was warm and
it was warm. We had a fire. And I think there's one point you went, oh my God, that's a cooker.
I don't know what are those things? Cookers? What are they? Cookers?
Oh yeah.
And then there was a microwave and a television. I mean, we were spoilt at the end, weren't we, Sonia?
Well, do you know what, Sherrie? We'd roughed it that much. We actually, like the normal things that people have, we actually couldn't get over it, could we? And we were
no, but didn't you, when we finished the show, didn't you and your family go on holiday to a static caravan? Am I making that up?
It's the absolute truth. Like, what am I doing here? But my little daughter, she loves caravans and she really wanted to go. So we all went, but it was a laugh. But ours was a luxurious one.
Yeah, slightly different.
Fabulous.
Slightly different.
The hot tub, the hot tub, everything.
Oh,
brilliant.
fabulous.
We were frozen, weren't we, Sonia?
I did have a laugh. We used to light the dodgy cooker, didn't we, just to get a flame?
Yeah.
And hot water bottle was full
there
of
was
whiskey.
There was one moment with the toilet that Sonia was with me, and then she walked off. And I said to the guy, "I just got to go for a wee," and he went. He hadn't, put the caravan down properly. So don't worry, I'll put my foot on the caravan, nip in and go to the loo, come back. And as I went in and sat on the loo, I heard him shout, "George, can you come here?" And he took the foot off. And I went, "Oh, no." And I fell into the toilet. I don't think you ever saw me again.
Like Sherrie to me. Anyway,
it was
Sonia,
we loved it anyway.
Brilliant to have you on the show. It's such a lovely pleasure for me to meet you because I've been a fan of yours for so many years. So thank you.
We all have. Thank you, darling.
And fly back into our nest soon.
Oh, lovely to see you all.
Thanks, Sonia.
See you very soon, Sonia.
In Nottingham.
Bye.
Bye.
I love your caravanning stories. I love them.
She's
So
just
wonderful.
such a girl.
It really is. It looked such fun, actually. And I
love
love
that breakfast. It hurt. The laughter hurt. It really did. And but that's because I know you. And then
exactly.
But the funniest thing was, as if I said, "Now, boys, if you look under that sausage, there's an egg somewhere underneath." It was like to chop it out. I ate it all.
Darlings, who's coming on Wednesday?
We have Psychic to the Stars, June Field, who's coming in to give us predictions.
I hope it's a good one. That's all I'm telling you now.
I'd like the lottery numbers, please, from her, if that's okay.
Yes, they never predict those, do they?
We also have
yes, they can.
The gorgeous Linda Lusardi, who is coming in with Linda's bargain chocolate bucket.
Chocolate?
Well,
sounds
because
good.
it's Easter, you see. She's
I love
got
chocolate.
lots of different ideas for us for the Easter Bunny. And then we have Stephen Murphy telling us what's going on in the soup world. So kind of a jam-packed show because we then have Easter off.
Yes, we do. And we won't see you till the 7th of April.
But we might have a little surprise coming
Yes, in that time.
In that
But
time,
we'll
so
let you
just
know.
keep your eyes peeled on the WonderBirds page, and something exciting might happen from the Easter Bunny, from us to you as viewers.
Yes, absolutely.
As always.
As
We'll
always.
see you.
Anyway,
We'll see you soon.
See you Wednesday.
See you Wednesday.
Bye. Bye. Bye.